poor girl helps the daughter of a millionaire CEO eat again, and what he did next surprised everyone. Before we begin the story, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? And don't forget to rate this story from 0 to 10 when it's over. Enjoy the story. Yakisoba with cheese, the best in town. Luna Morgan shouted as she waved a colorful sign. At 23, she knew that being embarrassed didn't pay the bills. After 8 hours of work, she had $15 in her tip jar, and rent was due the next day. Special yakisoba with melted cheese, only $8. That's when she saw a man walking down the sidewalk. Thomas Blackwood was carrying a little girl in his arms. His suit was expensive, but his face showed total desperation. The child in his arms looked like a doll about to break. "Please, Sophia, you need to eat something," Thomas begged, stopping right in front of Luna's cart. "It's been 10 days, sweetheart. The doctors don't know what else to do." Sophia was only 5 years old, her blonde hair dull, her blue eyes lifeless. She was way too thin. "I don't want to, Daddy," she whispered weakly. "Nothing tastes good." Hearing that, Luna jumped down from the box she was standing on to promote her food. The heartbreaking scene moved her deeply. "What happened to her?" Luna asked, walking closer. "My daughter hasn't eaten in 10 days. I've tried the best doctors, the best restaurants. Nothing works. She's dying in front of me." Luna knelt down to Sophia's level. "Hi, princess. Want to see some magic? I make yakisoba with special powers." "Special powers?" Sophia whispered, curious for the first time in days. "Yes, my yakisoba makes all sadness go away. Want to see?" Luna turned on the heat and tossed noodles onto the hot grill. The sizzle caught Sophia's attention right away. "First, the special noodles," Luna said, stirring the grill. "Then, the most important ingredient, love." She made a motion like she was sprinkling invisible glitter over the noodles. Sophia's eyes widened. She had never seen anyone cook with that much care. Luna chopped onions and peppers, tossing them on the grill with flair. She poured a dark sauce that made the most wonderful sizzling sound. The smell was indescribable, sweet, salty, just perfect. "And now, the magic cheese," Luna announced. She sprinkled cheddar cheese, which melted into golden strings. She served it all on a plate and handed it to Sophia. "Special yakisoba, made with love, just for you." Sophia took the fork with her tiny trembling hands and had her first bite. Her eyes lit up. "Daddy," she cried, smiling for the first time in weeks. "This is really good." Thomas couldn't believe it. His daughter, who had refused all food for 10 days, was now eating with real appetite. Sophia finished the whole plate and asked for more. Luna made another, and Sophia ate every bit. Color returned to her cheeks. She looked like a normal little girl again. "How did you do that?" Thomas asked, moved. "Children can tell when food is made with true love," Luna said. "They feel the difference." "Thank you for getting my daughter to eat," Thomas said. He paid, then left a $50 tip. Luna was stunned. As Thomas helped Sophia down to walk, she whispered something that made him freeze. "Daddy, she cooks just like Mommy used to before she left." Thomas's face turned pale. His eyes filled with panic, like Sophia had just shared a terrible secret. He grabbed Sophia's hand and walked away, leaving Luna standing there with the strange feeling that her life had just changed forever. The next morning, Luna woke up at 5 with her stomach growling. The $50 tip had gone straight to her overdue rent. She had just $2 left to buy ingredients. But she couldn't stop thinking about that man in the expensive suit and the thin little girl. "She cooks just like Mommy used to." Sophia's words echoed in her mind. "Fresh yakisoba. The best in town." Luna shouted, pushing her cart to the same spot as the day before. It was just 7 in the morning when she saw Thomas Blackwood walking toward her. Sophia was beside him, but she dragged her feet with no energy. "Miss?" Thomas waved desperately. "I'm so glad you're here again." "Of course I am," Luna smiled. "Sophia, princess, how are you today?" "Hungry," Sophia mumbled. "Daddy tried to give me cereal for breakfast, but I couldn't eat it. I just wanted your noodles." Luna looked at Thomas. He looked like he hadn't slept. Red eyes, messy hair, wrinkled suit. "I haven't eaten anything since yesterday," Thomas explained. "She refused everything I offered. All she talked about was coming here." "Well then, let's make some more magic yakisoba," Luna said, turning on the heat. As she cooked, Luna watched Thomas. He wore a watch worth more than her rent for a whole year. His shoes were expensive Italian leather. Yet here he was on a dirty sidewalk, begging a street food vendor to save his daughter. "What kind of work do you do?" Luna asked as she stirred the noodles. "I own a tech company," Thomas replied. "Blackwood Industries. You've probably heard of it." Luna almost dropped the spatula. Everyone had heard of Blackwood Industries, one of the biggest companies in the country. You're Thomas Blackwood? The billionaire?" "Millionaire," Thomas corrected. "And what good is all that money if I can't get my daughter to eat?" Sophia finished another full plate. She smiled, played, and looked like a normal little girl again. Thomas watched each bite with tears in his eyes. "Miss," Thomas said once Sophia finished, "I need to make you an offer." Luna wiped her hands on her apron. "What kind of offer?" "Be my private cook. Come live in my house and cook for Sophia." "What?" Luna laughed nervously. "I sell food on the street, and you make the best food my daughter's ever had." Thomas replied, "I'll pay you $50,000 a month." Luna gasped. $50,000? Per month, room, board, and all expenses covered. You just need to cook for Sophia and care for her when I'm working. Luna thought of her sick mother at home. The expensive medicine she couldn't afford, the rent that was always late, the days without proper meals. "Why me?" Luna asked. "You could hire any famous chef in the world." Thomas looked at Sophia, who was playing with the last bits of yakisoba. "Because," he said softly, "you're the only person who can get my daughter to eat, and that's priceless. Say yes, and all your problems end today." Sophia ran over and hugged Luna's leg. "Come live with us, please." Luna's heart melted. How could she say no to that sweet child? "All right," she whispered. "I accept." Thomas let out a sigh of relief. "Great, can you start today?" "Today?" "Sophia needs lunch in 2 hours, and I have an important meeting I can't miss." Luna looked at her humble food cart, then at the luxury car, then at Sophia's smiling face. "All right, let's go." The mansion was even more impressive than Luna had imagined. Electric gate, huge garden, Olympic-sized pool. The house had 3 floors and looked like a castle. "Wow," Luna murmured. "Aunt Lou, come see my room." Sophia grabbed Luna's hand and pulled her upstairs. Sophia's room was the size of Luna's entire apartment. A princess bed, expensive toys everywhere, a closet full of dresses. But Luna noticed something odd. No pictures of a woman anywhere in the house. No feminine touch. It felt like only men lived there. "Sophia, where are the pictures of your mommy?" Sophia was quiet for a moment. "Daddy put them all away." "Why?" He said it hurts too much to look at them. That afternoon, Luna made a special lunch for Sophia. The girl ate everything and even asked for dessert. "You really are magic." Sophia laughed. That evening, when Thomas got back from work, he found Sophia happily playing in the living room. "She ate?" he asked anxiously. 3 full meals, Luna answered proudly. Thomas closed his eyes with relief. "I don't know how to thank you." Later, after Sophia was asleep, Thomas gave Luna a tour of the house. "This is the main kitchen, this is the pantry, here are the special dishes." They reached a hallway on the 2nd floor. Thomas stopped in front of a white door. "Never open this door," he said seriously. "Why not?" "It's a baby's room. Too painful for me." Luna frowned. A baby's room, but Sophia's already 5. It was for her little brother. He was never born. "What happened to Sophia's mom anyway?" Luna asked directly. Thomas froze. His face tensed up, almost angry. "She died giving birth to Sophia." "I don't like to talk about it." But Luna was sure he was lying. Sophia had said Luna cooked just like mommy used to. How could a 5-year-old remember her mother's cooking if she died during childbirth? That night, Luna lay awake thinking, what terrible secret was Thomas hiding? 3 weeks had passed since Luna started working at the Blackwood mansion. Sophia was a different child. She had gained weight. Her cheeks were rosy, and she smiled all the time. "Aunt Lou, let's play house." Sophia ran around the house every morning looking for Luna. Luna had completely fallen in love with the girl. She woke up early to make special breakfasts, came up with new games, and told bedtime stories. Sophia followed her around the house like a sweet little puppy. "Will you be my heart, Mom?" Sophia asked one afternoon while Luna was brushing her blonde hair. Luna's heart tightened. "I'm your special friend, Princess." "But you take care of me like a mommy would," Sophia insisted. "You cook yummy food, give me baths, tell me stories, just like my mommy did." There was that phrase again. Luna pretended to focus on brushing her hair. "What was your mommy like, Sophia?" "She was beautiful and always smelled nice. She used to sing me to sleep and made pancakes on Sundays. Sophia sighed, but one day she left and never came back. Luna stopped brushing her hair. She left? I thought she had died. Dad said she died, but I remember her leaving with suitcases. Luna felt a chill run through her. Sophia remembered her mother leaving alive. That night, Luna went downstairs to get a glass of water and heard soft sobs coming from Thomas's office. She walked quietly toward the slightly open door. Thomas was sitting at his desk, his head in his hands, crying softly. In front of him was a photo of a beautiful blonde woman holding baby Sophia. "Carla, why did you do this to me?" Thomas whispered. "Why did you leave our daughter?" Luna stepped away in silence, her heart racing. Sophia's mother was named Carla, and she was alive. Thomas had lied about everything. The next day, Sophia drew a picture of her dream family: a man, a woman, and a smiling child. "This is my perfect family," Sophia said, showing the drawing to Luna. "That's Daddy, that's you being my mommy, and that's me." Thomas walked through the room just then, saw the drawing, and his face turned pale. He quickly walked out. "Why did Daddy look sad?" Sophia asked, confused. "I don't know, sweetheart," Luna lied, but she knew exactly why. Thomas was hiding something painful about Sophia's past, and Luna was determined to find out the truth. That afternoon, while Sophia was napping, Luna decided to ask him directly. "Thomas, I need to know more about Sophia's mother." Thomas was reading some papers in the living room. When he heard the question, his whole body tensed. "Why are you so obsessed with this?" he asked coldly. "Because Sophia says things that don't match your story," Luna answered firmly. "She remembers her mother cooking, singing, being alive. She was very young. Her memories are confused." "Children over 3 can have clear memories," Luna said, "and Sophia remembers her mother leaving with suitcases, not dying." Thomas stood up suddenly. "Stop it. I won't talk about this anymore." "Why not? If she really died, why is it so hard to talk about?" Thomas stared at her angrily. "Because it hurts too much. I lost my wife and I don't want to relive it." But Luna saw something in his eyes. Guilt, shame, fear. Not the sadness of a grieving husband. That night, Luna couldn't sleep. She got up and walked through the quiet house, thinking about all the things that didn't make sense. She reached the hallway on the second floor and stopped in front of the forbidden door. "Baby's room," she whispered, remembering what Thomas had called it. She looked around to make sure she was alone. Thomas slept downstairs, Sophia on the 3rd floor. No one would see her. Curiosity burning inside her, Luna knelt down and peeked through the keyhole. What she saw took her breath away. It wasn't a baby's room like Thomas had said. It was a grown woman's room with a king-sized bed covered in clothes, elegant dresses, silk blouses, business pants thrown everywhere. It looked like someone had left in a rush. Luna blinked several times, trying to make sense of it. Why would Thomas lie about what was in that room? And whose clothes were those? She backed away from the door, heart pounding, more confused than ever. She looked around the hallway one more time and then went back to her room, her mind full of questions. The next morning, Luna got up early as usual to make breakfast for Sophia, but she couldn't stop thinking about what she saw. The scattered clothes, the strange feeling that something important was being kept from her. "Good morning, Aunt Lou." Sophia skipped into the kitchen, snapping Luna out of her thoughts. "Good morning, Princess. Did you sleep well?" "I did. I dreamed we were a real family, you, me, and Daddy." Luna forced a smile as she served the fresh pancakes. Sophia's innocence clashed with the dark secrets that seemed to fill that house. "Sophia, can I ask you something?" "Sure." Luna hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "Do you remember anything else about your mommy?" Sophia stopped chewing and thought for a moment. "A little. She smelled nice and sang pretty songs." "Anything more?" "She liked pretty clothes. She had lots of colorful dresses." Sophia sighed. "But Daddy doesn't like it when I talk about her." Before Luna could ask more, Thomas came into the kitchen, perfectly dressed for work in a suit. "Good morning, girls." "Good morning, Daddy." Sophia ran to hug him. Luna watched Thomas closely. He looked tired, with dark circles under his eyes and a worried look that never seemed to go away. "Thomas," Luna said casually as she cleaned the sink. "Last night, I walked down the second-floor hallway and—" Thomas cut her off right away, his voice tense. "And what?" "Nothing big. I just wondered why you keep that room locked." Thomas dropped his fork and it clattered against the plate. Sophia looked at her father with curiosity. "I've explained, it's a baby's room. Too painful for me?" "I see," Luna said, but her tone made it clear she didn't really understand. Thomas finished his coffee quickly and left for work, leaving an uncomfortable silence behind. All that morning, while looking after Sophia, Luna couldn't stop thinking about what she had seen. Women's clothes scattered around didn't match the story of a baby's room. Why was Thomas lying? "Aunt Lou, want to play hide-and-seek?" Sophia asked after lunch. "Of course, princess." They ran around the huge house, laughing and having fun. Sophia hid behind the living room curtains, then under the kitchen table. Then it was her turn to find Luna. Luna went upstairs looking for a good hiding spot. She passed the second-floor hallway and stopped right in front of the white door. "I'm coming," Sophia called from downstairs. Luna stared at the forbidden door. Curiosity was stronger than caution. She knelt down again and looked through the keyhole. The clothes were still there, scattered just like the night before. But this time, with daylight coming through the window, she could see more details. They were expensive clothes. She could recognize designer labels even from a distance. High heels were lying on the floor. A hairbrush with blonde strands sat on the vanity. Expensive perfumes sparkled in the sunlight. Who had lived in that room? And why did Thomas keep it locked like some kind of forbidden shrine? "Found you?" Sophia ran into the hallway. Luna stood up quickly, trying to hide what she'd been doing. "You got me, smarty pants. What were you doing there?" Sophia asked, looking at the door. "Oh, nothing. Just thinking." Sophia suddenly looked serious. "Daddy doesn't like people near that door." "Why not?" "I don't know. He gets mad." Sophia lowered her voice like she was telling a secret. "One time the cleaning lady got close and he yelled at her." Luna felt a chill. What kind of secret could make someone react like that? The rest of the day went by as usual. Sophia played, ate well, took a bath, and listened to bedtime stories. But Luna couldn't relax, still bothered by the mystery of that room. When Thomas came home from work that night, Luna was waiting in the living room. "How was your day?" he asked as he loosened his tie. "Quiet. Sophia ate well, and we played a lot." Thomas smiled, genuinely for the first time in days. "I don't know how to thank you, Luna. Sophia has completely changed since you arrived. She's a wonderful child." "She is. She's the most important thing I have in this world." Luna saw an opportunity to ask, "Thomas, can I ask you another question about her mother?" His expression changed immediately. "What do you want to know?" "What was she like?" Sophia asks sometimes, and I don't know what to say. Thomas stayed silent for a long moment, staring off into space. "She was complicated," he finally said. "Beautiful, but complicated." "Complicated how?" "She liked expensive things, clothes, jewelry, trips. She was never satisfied with what she had." Luna felt a twinge of recognition. Expensive clothes scattered in that locked room. It must be hard for Sophia to grow up without her mother. "That's why you being here matters so much," Thomas said, looking straight into her eyes. "You fill a space I could never fill on my own." Luna's heart beat faster under his intense gaze. There was something more than just gratitude in those green eyes. "Thomas, I know it's too soon to say this," he stepped closer, "but you're not just the cook here. You've become part of our family." Luna felt butterflies in her stomach. The closeness, his scent, the honesty in his voice, everything made her feel drawn to him. But the lies about the locked room created an invisible wall between them. "I need to know the truth about that room," Luna said suddenly. Thomas stepped back like she had slapped him. "Why do you keep bringing that up?" "Because I feel like you're hiding something important, and if we're going to be a family, there can't be secrets between us." Thomas ran his hands through his hair, clearly upset. "Some secrets exist to protect the people we love." "Protect them from what?" "From the truth that might hurt them." Luna stepped closer. "I'm stronger than you think." Thomas looked her in the eyes for a long moment. He seemed to be fighting an internal battle between telling the truth or keeping the lie. "Not today," he finally said. "Maybe one day I'll have the courage to tell you. But not today." He went up the stairs, leaving Luna alone in the room, more confused and intrigued than ever. That night, Luna stayed awake, thinking about everything. The clothes scattered around, Thomas's lies, the growing attraction between them, and most of all, the feeling that something important was being kept from her. What was Thomas hiding in that room? And why was he so afraid to tell the truth? Luna fell asleep with those questions running through her mind. In the days that followed, Luna's curiosity about Thomas and Sophia's past only grew stronger. She couldn't stop thinking about the scattered clothes in the off-limits room, and Thomas's obvious lies were making her more and more uneasy. One sunny afternoon, while Sophia was playing in the garden, Luna decided to take a closer look around the house. She already knew all the main rooms but had never really explored Thomas's office. Lou, I'm going to play with my dolls," Sophia shouted, running to her room. "All right, sweetheart, call me if you need anything." Taking advantage of Sophia being busy, Luna walked to the office. The door was slightly open, like it always was during the day. She entered slowly, looking at every detail. The walls were decorated with Thomas's business diplomas and certificates. There was a large, dark wooden desk and shelves full of books about business. But what caught her attention were the picture frames on the desk. Luna walked over, curious. There were several photos of Thomas at business events, and others of him with Sophia at different ages. But in the back of the desk, partly hidden behind some objects, there was a frame turned face down. She glanced toward the door to make sure she was alone, then carefully turned the frame over. The photo showed a younger Thomas, smiling genuinely next to a stunning blonde woman. She was wearing an elegant dress and holding a small child in her arms, Sophia, who looked about 2 years old. Luna's heart raced. Sophia was 2 in that photo. That meant her mother was alive at least until Sophia turned 2, completely contradicting Thomas's story about her dying during childbirth. Luna picked up the frame with trembling hands, studying every detail of the picture. Sophia looked happy in the arms of the blonde woman, who had striking blue eyes and a confident expression. Thomas stood beside them, but his smile seemed forced, as if something was bothering him. She put the frame back where it was and continued looking around carefully. She opened the desk drawers gently, searching for more clues. In the middle drawer, she found more loose photographs. She took a few and looked through them quickly. All of them showed the same blonde woman with Sophia at different ages. Sophia as a baby, Sophia at 1 year old, and Sophia at 2, playing in the mansion's garden. In one photo, the woman was cooking in the kitchen with Sophia sitting on the counter, watching. Sophia looked happy and relaxed, as if it were a normal part of their lives. "That's why Sophia remembers the taste of her mother's cooking," Luna whispered to herself. She quickly put the photos away and closed the drawer. Her mind was racing with what she had discovered. Thomas had clearly lied about his wife dying in childbirth. Sophia's mother had been alive when she was at least 2 years old. So what had really happened to her? Why would Thomas make up such an elaborate lie? And where was that woman now? Luna left the office with more questions than answers. The rest of the afternoon, while taking care of Sophia, she looked at the little girl with fresh eyes. "Sophia, do you remember when you were very little?" she asked, while brushing the girl's hair. "A little bit. I remember a lady who used to live here and made yummy food like you. What did she look like?" "She had yellow hair and smelled nice. She used to sing me to sleep." Sophia paused to think. But one day she left and never came back. Luna felt a chill. Sophia really did remember her mother. "Do you miss her?" "I used to, but now I have you." Sophia hugged Luna tightly. "You're better than her because you'll never go away, right?" Luna's heart tightened. "Of course I'm not going anywhere, sweetheart." That night, when Thomas came home from work, Luna watched him with growing suspicion. He greeted Sophia warmly, had dinner with them, helped put the little girl to bed. He seemed like a loving, devoted father. But why lie so much about the past? After Sophia was asleep, Thomas settled in the living room to read some work documents. Luna walked over with a cup of tea. "Thank you," he said as he accepted the drink. "You always know how to take good care of us." "It's my job," Luna replied, but her voice sounded colder than usual. Thomas looked at her closely. "Is everything all right? You seem different today." Luna hesitated. Part of her wanted to confront him about the photos, but something held her back. "I'm just tired. You work too much. Maybe you should take a day off." "No need. I like taking care of Sophia." Thomas gave a gentle smile. "She loves you. I've never seen my daughter so happy and healthy. She's a special girl." "She really is. She's the most important thing I have in the world." Thomas paused. And you've become very important to us too, Luna. Luna felt butterflies in her stomach, but her doubts about his lies created an invisible wall between them. Thomas, can I ask you something? Of course. Why don't you ever talk about the past, about how your life was before? Thomas tensed up right away. I'd rather not remember painful times. But sometimes talking helps you heal. Not always. Thomas stood up suddenly. I'm going to work a bit more in the office. He left the room, leaving Luna alone with her suspicions. She knew she had only uncovered the tip of the iceberg. Thomas was hiding much bigger secrets about Sophia's mother's disappearance. And Luna was determined to uncover the whole truth, no matter how much it might hurt her. The next morning, Luna woke up still thinking about the photos she had found in the office. She went downstairs to prepare Sophia's breakfast, but found Thomas already in the kitchen, talking on the phone with a tense voice. No, you don't understand how serious this is, Thomas said, pacing back and forth. If we don't find a solution, the company will go under in 30 days. Luna stopped at the kitchen entrance, not wanting to interrupt. Thomas looked desperate, running his free hand through his messy hair. What do you mean the investors are backing out? They signed contracts. Thomas hit the counter with his fist. Listen, if we lose this project, we all lose everything. Everything. Luna had never seen Thomas so shaken. He always seemed so confident and in control. I don't care if it's the weekend. I want everyone at the company in 2 hours. We have to find a solution before it's too late. Thomas hung up and leaned on the counter, breathing heavily. That's when he noticed Luna standing in the doorway. How long have you been there? He asked, trying to hide his panic. Just got here. Is everything okay? Yes, just work problems, Thomas lied, but Luna could see the fear in his eyes. At that moment, Sophia came downstairs, cheerful as always. Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Aunt Lou. Thomas forced a smile for his daughter. Good morning, Princess. During breakfast, Luna watched Thomas carefully. He barely touched his food, kept checking his phone, and sighed deeply with every message he read. Daddy, are you working today? It's Saturday, Sophia said, biting into a piece of toast. Unfortunately, yes, my love. Daddy has some important problems to solve. After Sophia finished eating and went off to play, Thomas got ready to leave. Luna walked him to the door. Thomas, if you need to talk about anything, I'm here. He looked at her with sincere gratitude. Thank you, Luna. You have no idea how much your presence here means to me. After Thomas left, Luna spent the day taking care of Sophia, but she couldn't stop thinking about the phone call she had overheard. Thomas's company was in serious financial trouble. That night, after Sophia was asleep, Thomas came home looking worn out. His clothes were wrinkled, and his eyes were red from exhaustion. How was it? Luna asked as she served him dinner. Terrible, Thomas admitted. Absolutely terrible. Luna sat at the table with him. Do you want to talk about it? Thomas hesitated, then let out a deep sigh. The company is on the brink of bankruptcy. We have 30 days to find a solution or we lose everything. What happened? We invested heavily in a new tech project. We spent millions developing a revolutionary software. Thomas rubbed his tired face. But when we presented it to the investors, they backed out. They said the market wasn't ready. Luna frowned. But if the software is really that innovative, wouldn't other investors be interested? It's more complicated than that. We have huge debts, employees to pay, contracts to honor. Thomas pushed away his plate, barely touched. And now the banks are calling in the loans. Luna thought for a moment. During her accounting studies, she had learned about situations like this. Have you thought about restructuring the debt? Maybe negotiating longer terms with the banks while you look for new investors? Thomas looked at her, surprised. How do you know about that? Luna realized she had said too much. I heard about it somewhere. Luna, how does a cook know about business finances? She hesitated, but then decided to tell the truth. I studied accounting in college. You did? Yes, I got a scholarship and made it all the way to the last semester. Luna looked down. But my mom got sick. She needed expensive medicine and constant care. I had to leave school to work and take care of her. Thomas was silent for a long moment, trying to process what she had said. You almost graduated in accounting? I just had to present my final project and take the last exams. And why didn't you ever tell me this? Because it doesn't matter anymore. I don't have a diploma. I can't work in that field. Luna sighed sadly. All those years of studying were wasted. Thomas stepped closer to her. Luna, your knowledge wasn't wasted. Do you still remember most of it? Most of it, yes. Why? Because maybe you can help me save my company. Luna looked at him in disbelief. How? Thomas went to the office and came back with a folder full of documents. He spread the papers out on the kitchen table. Take a look at these numbers. Tell me what you see. Luna studied the documents carefully. Financial statements, cost spreadsheets, revenue projections. Slowly, her mind went back to her college days. Your operating costs are too high for your current returns, she said after a few minutes. But I see revenue potential that's not being explored. What do you mean? You have maintenance contracts with old clients that are paying very low fees. If you renegotiate those contracts with updated rates, revenue would increase by at least 40%. Thomas leaned forward, interested. Go on. There's more. You're spending a fortune outsourcing services that your current staff could handle internally. Luna pointed to specific numbers. If you reorganize those roles, you could save thousands each month. My goodness, Thomas muttered. Why didn't my accountants think of that? Sometimes when you're too close to the problem, it's hard to see the obvious solutions. Thomas spent 2 hours going over Luna's suggestions. With each idea, he was more and more impressed by her intelligence and business insight. Luna, these ideas are brilliant. If we put all this in place, the company could not only survive, but actually make a solid profit in just a few months, Luna finished. Thomas looked at her with deep admiration. You just saved my company. Not yet. These are just suggestions. They're much more than that. Thomas took her hands. They're the solution I've been desperately looking for. The following Sunday, Thomas called his executive team and presented all of Luna's ideas. At first, there was resistance. After all, the suggestions came from a cook. But once Thomas explained the logic behind each proposal, everyone was convinced. By Monday, they began putting the changes into action. They renegotiated old contracts, reorganized departments, and cut unnecessary expenses. Within a week, the results were already visible. Luna, you won't believe it, Thomas said as he walked into the house that Friday with a big smile she hadn't seen in weeks. What happened? We closed 3 new contracts today. They're going to bring in $2 million in profit over the next 6 months. Sophia came running in. Why is Daddy so happy? Because Aunt Lou saved Daddy's company, Thomas said as he picked Sophia up and spun her around. Aunt Lou is the smartest person in the world, Sophia shouted, laughing. Thomas looked at Luna with an expression full of gratitude, admiration, and something even deeper. She really is, he said softly, the most special person I've ever met. Luna felt her heart race. Despite all the lies about the past, she couldn't deny she was falling for Thomas, and for the first time, she saw in his eyes that he felt the same. 3 days after the success with the new contracts, Thomas got home earlier than usual. He found Luna in the kitchen making dinner while Sophia worked on her homework at the table. Luna, I need to talk to you, Thomas said with a serious but hopeful look. Of course. Did something happen at the company? Actually, yes. Something really good. Thomas stepped closer. The results from your suggestions went beyond all expectations. Not only did we save the company, but we're having the best quarter in the last 5 years. Luna smiled proudly. I'm glad it worked out. That's why I want to make you an offer. What kind of offer? Thomas took a deep breath. I want you to work at my company as our official accountant. Luna almost dropped the pan she was stirring. What do you mean? You have an incredible talent for finance. It would be a waste to keep that knowledge hidden here at home. Thomas, I can't work as an accountant. I don't have a degree. That doesn't matter. Your practical knowledge is worth more than any certificate. Thomas stepped even closer. Of course, officially you can't sign off on documents like a certified accountant, but you could work as my personal financial assistant. No one has to know you didn't finish college. Luna was tempted, but she quickly thought about her biggest responsibility. And what about Sophia? Who's going to cook for her? We can hire a cook, and you can train her to make food just the way Sophia likes it. You think that will work? I'm sure of it. Sophia just needs time to get used to someone new. Luna hesitated. The chance to go back to her field of study was tempting, but taking care of Sophia had become her top priority. "How much would you pay?" $100,000 a year plus benefits, Luna gasped. 100,000? You saved a $20 million company. That salary is the least you deserve. It was an amount that would completely change Luna's life. She could pay for all of her mother's treatments, clear all her debts, and finally have financial security. "All right," she said at last, "I'll do it." Thomas lit up with a smile. "Really?" "Really, but only if we find a cook Sophia truly likes." "Leave that to me." The next day, Thomas brought in 3 candidates for the cook position. The first was an experienced woman named Martha who had worked in top restaurants. The second was Patricia, a young culinary school graduate. The third was Rose, a middle-aged woman with a focus on cooking for children. Luna spent the whole morning teaching each of them how to prepare Sophia's favorite meals, special yakisoba, heart-shaped pancakes, and sandwiches cut into fun shapes. "The secret is care," Luna explained to Martha. "Sophia can tell when the food is made with love." When Sophia came home from school, she tried each cook's food. She tasted everything politely, but Luna could see she wasn't excited about any of them. "Which one did you like best, sweetheart?" Luna asked. Sophia looked at the 3 women, then back at Luna. "The food was good, but what? It didn't taste like yours, Aunt Lou." Thomas sighed. "Sophia, you need to give them a chance." "I tried, Daddy, but I couldn't finish my food." Luna chose Martha, who seemed the most patient and kind of the 3. She spent the next few days teaching her all the secrets to cooking for Sophia. "She likes when the vegetables are cut in fun shapes," Luna explained, "and always add a little love to every dish." Martha laughed. "How do you put love in food?" "By thinking about how you want the person to feel happy while you cook." During Luna's first week at the company, Martha was in charge of all Sophia's meals. But things didn't go well. Sophia ate just a few bites of lunch and refused dinner completely. On the second day, she barely touched her breakfast. "Daddy, where's Aunt Lou?" Sophia asked, pushing her plate away. "She's at work, sweetheart. Martha made this meal with lots of care, but it doesn't taste the same." On the third day, Sophia hardly ate anything. Thomas called Luna at the office, clearly worried. "She's refusing to eat again. I'm afraid she'll go back to how she was before." Luna's heart sank. "I'm coming home now." When she got home, she found Sophia pale and low on energy, just like when they first met. "Aunt Lou," Sophia ran to hug her. "I missed you so much." "I missed you too, sweetheart. Want me to make your favorite dinner?" "Yes, please." Luna made the special yakisoba with love and care. Sophia ate every bite and smiled for the first time in days. "Now that's more like it," Sophia said, satisfied. That night, after Sophia went to bed, Thomas and Luna talked about the situation. "I can't let Sophia go hungry," Luna said, worried. "But I also can't lose your talent at the company." Luna thought for a moment. "What if I do both? How?" "I'll get up at 5 in the morning, prepare all of Sophia's meals for the day, and leave everything ready. Then I'll go to work like normal." Thomas frowned. "Isn't that too much for you?" "Sophia is my priority. If it means getting up earlier, I'm okay with that." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. I can handle both responsibilities." Starting the next day, Luna set a new routine. She woke up at 5 in the morning and carefully prepared breakfast, lunch, and snacks for Sophia. She left everything ready so Martha only had to warm it up and serve it at the right times. Then she headed to the company, where she impressed Thomas and the whole team with her intelligence and dedication. She came back home in the late afternoon to personally make Sophia's dinner. It was tiring, but seeing Sophia happy and well-fed while also fulfilling her professional dream made it all worth it. "You're amazing," Thomas said one evening, watching Luna play with Sophia after dinner. "Why? Because you managed to do everything perfectly." Luna smiled, feeling like she was finally exactly where she was meant to be. 2 weeks after officially starting her new role, Luna had already become a key member of the financial team. She arrived every day at 8 in the morning, after waking up at 5 to prepare Sophia's meals. "Good morning, Luna," employees would say as she walked through the halls. Thomas had created a special position for her, senior financial assistant, which allowed her to take part in important meetings without raising questions about her lack of a diploma. Only the 2 of them knew that secret. At her first meeting with investors, Luna impressed everyone with her accurate analysis and innovative suggestions. "Miss Morgan, your projections are incredibly detailed," said Mr. Wilson, one of the main investors. "Where did you study?" Luna felt her heart race, but she calmly answered, "I learned through hands-on experience, working with different companies." Thomas quietly supported her. "Luna has a natural gift with numbers, something I rarely see even in those with formal degrees." After the meeting, Thomas and Luna walked together to the parking lot. "You were perfect in there," Thomas said with admiration. "Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for saving my company." They looked at each other for a moment that lasted longer than usual. Luna felt butterflies in her stomach when she realized Thomas was looking at her, not as an employee or a cook, but as a woman. "Luna, Mommy, Daddy." Sophia came running from the car, interrupting the moment. The nanny was right behind her. "Princess, what are you doing here?" Thomas asked, picking her up. "The nanny brought me to see where you work." Luna smiled, but her heart skipped a beat when Sophia naturally called her Mommy. Thomas noticed too, and his eyes filled with emotion. In the following days, Luna and Thomas grew closer. Long talks about work turned into personal conversations. Their looks during meetings lingered longer than necessary. Their hands would accidentally touch when handing papers. "You've completely changed my life," Thomas said one night while they worked late. "What do you mean?" "Sophia is happy, the company is doing great, and Thomas paused. "I feel alive again." Luna felt her heart beat faster, but there was always a shadow between them, the secrets Thomas was keeping about the past. Meanwhile, other employees were starting to feel resentful about Luna's rapid rise. Richard Santos, senior accountant for 15 years, and Patricia Lima, administrative manager for 10 years, began meeting in secret. "How does a street cook suddenly land such a high-level position?" Richard muttered during a coffee break. "Something doesn't add up." Patricia agreed. "She came out of nowhere, and now Thomas treats her like some kind of financial genius." "I'm sure there's something fishy going on," Richard said in a low voice. "I'm going to look into her past." "Be careful Thomas doesn't find out," Patricia warned. "He's clearly emotionally involved. He can't see she might be fooling all of us." Unaware of the scheming, Luna continued giving her all to the company and to Sophia's care. But she started to notice something different at work. Cold stares, conversations that stopped when she walked by, being subtly left out of some groups. "You're imagining things," Thomas said when she brought it up. "You're exceptional. It's natural that some people feel jealous." But Luna was sure Richard and Patricia were plotting something against her. The question was, what were they planning? The campaign against Luna started subtly. Richard and Patricia began spreading small, seemingly innocent comments around the company halls. "It's strange how Luna always knows exactly what to say in meetings," Patricia murmured to other employees. "It's almost like she knows the questions ahead of time." "It's definitely suspicious," Richard agreed. "A street food vendor suddenly becoming a corporate finance expert? Something doesn't add up." The rumors spread quickly. Employees started questioning Luna's qualifications, her rapid rise in the company, and how close she was to Thomas. "I heard she doesn't even have a college degree," said the receptionist. "She's probably got something going on with the boss," another employee hinted. Luna started noticing suspicious looks and conversations that stopped when she walked by. But the worst was yet to come. Richard began spending late nights at the office, changing important documents. He purposely added mistakes to financial reports and left them on Luna's desk, making it look like she was the one responsible. The following Monday, during a board meeting, Mr. Hamilton, the chairman of the board, pointed out serious problems with the numbers presented. "These figures are completely wrong," Hamilton said, flipping through those go unnoticed. Thomas looked at Luna, confused. "Luna, did you review these numbers?" Yes. I checked them on Friday. Everything was correct when I finished," Luna answered, genuinely confused. "Well, they're not correct now," Hamilton replied coldly. "These discrepancies could have cost the company millions." After the disastrous meeting, Thomas called Luna into his office. "What happened in there?" "I don't know, Thomas. I swear I reviewed everything carefully. There were no mistakes when I submitted the report." Thomas wanted to believe her. But the board was under a lot of pressure. The following week, more errors showed up. This time, Richard was even more careful. He altered accounting records and planted evidence that made it look like Luna had tried to cover up major financial losses. "This looks like deliberate fraud," Patricia said dramatically during an emergency meeting. "Someone is trying to sabotage our company." All eyes turned to Luna. She felt like the ground had dropped out from under her. "I would never do that," she said, her voice shaking. "Why would I sabotage the company I work for?" "Maybe to cover your own mistakes," Richard suggested. Thomas stood up quickly. "That's enough. Luna saved this company. I won't accept these groundless accusations." "Thomas, with all due respect, you may be too close to the situation to see things clearly," Hamilton said. "Maybe your personal connection with Miss Morgan is affecting your judgment." "What personal connection?" Thomas asked, but everyone in the room knew about his growing closeness to Luna. After the meeting, Thomas and Luna walked in silence to the parking lot. "Why do you defend me so much?" Luna asked suddenly. Thomas stopped walking. "What do you mean? You're risking your reputation for me. Why?" Thomas looked into her eyes deeply. "Because I trust you, more than I probably should." Luna felt her heart race. There was so much emotion in his voice, so much vulnerability. "Thomas?" "No," he shook his head. "I can't say what I'm thinking. Not now, not like this." Meanwhile, Richard pushed further into his private investigation of Luna. He hired a private investigator to dig into her past. 3 days later, Richard received a report that made him smile maliciously. "Patricia, you're not going to believe what I found," he said, showing her the documents. "What is it?" Luna Morgan never graduated from anything. She dropped out of college in her last semester. No diploma, no certification, no qualifications at all. Patricia's eyes widened. "That means that she's working illegally as an accountant, and Thomas knew it the whole time." Luna, meanwhile, had started her own investigation. She came in earlier and stayed later, trying to figure out who was sabotaging her work. One night, while reviewing old files, she found some strange inconsistencies. Documents she was sure she had completed correctly now had obvious errors. Numbers she had double-checked were changed. "Someone's messing with my files," she murmured to herself. She began making copies of everything she worked on, keeping the original versions at home as evidence. She also noticed that Richard always showed up very early, or stayed very late at the office, always with some excuse about extra work. And Patricia kept asking odd questions about how Luna did her job. "They're working together against me," Luna realized. "But I need proof." At home, Thomas was battling his own demons. He watched Luna playing with Sophia after dinner, seeing how happy they were together, how they seemed like the perfect family. But the secrets from his past haunted him. "I need to tell her about Carla before it's too late, and I lose Luna forever," he thought alone in his office. "But what if she leaves me once she knows the truth?" Thomas found himself staring at a hidden photo of Carla. His ex-wife was beautiful, elegant, seemingly perfect, but inside she was cold, calculating, and selfish. "Carla left me when Sophia was little. She abandoned our daughter to run off with another man," he thought bitterly. "How can I tell Luna that? How do I admit I was left, rejected, betrayed?" The fear of losing Luna paralyzed him. She was everything he had ever dreamed of, caring, smart, a perfect mother for Sophia, but all based on a huge lie. "If she finds out I lied about everything, she'll hate me," Thomas tortured himself. "But if I don't tell her soon, someone else might." The next day, tension at the company reached its peak. Richard had prepared his final move to publicly expose that Luna wasn't qualified for the job she held. Luna arrived at work feeling that something terrible was about to happen. Thomas looked visibly nervous, avoiding direct eye contact. "We have an important meeting at 10, he said formally. "What kind of meeting?" "The board wants to clarify some questions about documentation." Luna felt a chill. Her own private investigation had uncovered signs of sabotage, but she still didn't have solid proof about who was responsible. "Thomas, I need to tell you something important I found out," she said. "After the meeting," he replied, but Luna saw panic in his eyes. At exactly 10, everyone gathered in the conference room. The atmosphere was heavy with tension. Richard smiled confidently. Patricia barely hid her excitement. Hamilton opened the meeting. We are here to discuss serious irregularities affecting this company's credibility. Luna felt her professional world beginning to crumble. But she didn't know Thomas was about to lose much more than just an employee. He was about to lose the woman he loved. The conference room was full. Besides the board, there were 3 important investors Thomas had invited to discuss new projects. Luna's stomach churned as she realized the meeting's importance. Hamilton began formally. "Gentlemen, we called this meeting to clarify issues about the integrity of our internal processes." Richard stood up, holding a folder full of documents. "Mr. Hamilton, with your permission, I would like to present alarming evidence I have found." "Go ahead," said Hamilton. "I discovered our company has been hiring employees without the necessary qualifications for highly responsible positions." Richard looked directly at Luna. Specifically, Miss Luna Morgan, who holds the position of Senior Financial Assistant, never graduated from any university. A shocked murmur spread through the room. The investors exchanged worried glances. "Continuing," Richard said dramatically, "she dropped out of her accounting course in the final semester and never obtained any professional certification. Technically, she is working illegally." Luna felt the world collapsing around her. Her worst fears were unfolding in public. Mr. Wilson, one of the main investors, stood up indignantly. "How is it possible that our company, handling millions, has an unqualified person controlling our finances?" "I can explain." Thomas stood up. "Thomas, no," Luna whispered, but he ignored her. "I hired Luna knowing her academic situation," Thomas said to the whole room. "She saved this company from bankruptcy with brilliant ideas no certified accountant ever came up with." "That's unacceptable," Hamilton exploded. "You put the entire company at legal risk." "Luna is more capable than any certified professional who's worked here," Thomas defended. "The results speak for themselves." Patricia spoke up. "But Thomas, she's also responsible for the serious errors found in recent reports. Errors that almost cost millions. Errors someone deliberately planted," Luna finally found the courage to say. "Are you accusing your colleagues of sabotage?" Hamilton asked sternly. "I'm saying someone altered my documents after I finished them." Richard laughed sarcastically. "Of course, always blaming others for your own mistakes." Mr. Wilson turned to Thomas. "Mr. Blackwood, how can we trust a company that employs people illegally and then protects them when they make serious mistakes?" "Luna didn't make any mistakes," Thomas insisted. "That doesn't matter anymore," Hamilton said coldly. "The company's reputation is at risk. Both you and Miss Morgan need to step away temporarily while we sort this out." "What do you mean, step away?" Luna asked. "Suspended with pay while we investigate all the reports you prepared," Hamilton explained. "And Thomas, you will be temporarily replaced because you're involved in this situation." The investors began to stand. "We will reconsider our partnership until this is resolved," Wilson said as he left the room. After everyone left, Luna and Thomas were alone in the conference room. "Why did you do that?" Luna asked, tears in her eyes. "Do what?" "Defend me in front of everyone. Now you're in trouble because of me." "I don't care about." "I do care," Luna burst out. "You lost your position at the company you built because of me." "Luna, listen. No, this is all my fault. I should never have taken this job." Luna grabbed her purse. "I'm leaving." "Where to?" "Away. I'm going back to my old life and leaving you all alone." Thomas followed her to the parking lot. "You can't leave." "I can. You and Sophia will be better off without me. Sophia loves you. She needs you. Sophia will get used to it. Kids are strong." Thomas held Luna's arm. "And what about me? Have you thought about how I feel?" Luna looked him in the eyes for the first time since the meeting. She saw desperation, fear, and total vulnerability. "Thomas, I love you," he said simply. "I love you more than anyone I've ever loved. I can't lose you." Luna's heart broke. "You're just confused because of all this." "I'm not confused. I know exactly how I feel." Luna stepped back. "I need time to think." She got in her car and drove home, leaving Thomas alone in the parking lot. That night at home, Sophia immediately noticed something was wrong. "Why are you both sad?" the little girl asked during dinner. "Just work problems, sweetheart," Thomas said, forcing a smile. "Is Aunt Lou going to keep living with us?" Luna avoided looking at Sophia. "Maybe it's better if I go back to my old home." "No," Sophia started to cry. "You can't leave. You're my mom now." "Sophia, I'm not your mother." "You are. You take care of me, make tasty food, and give me love. You're my mommy from my heart." Luna left the table to hide her tears. That night, Luna packed her bags. She was determined to leave the next morning and let the Blackwoods live their lives. But at 3 in the morning, she heard crying from Sophia's room. She ran to see what was wrong. "Bad dream, princess? I dreamed you left and never came back," Sophia sobbed. "Just like my real mom did." Luna held Sophia tight. "It was just a dream. Promise you won't leave?" Luna couldn't answer. The next day, Sophia refused breakfast completely. She also refused lunch. By afternoon, she was pale and weak, just like the first days they met. She stopped eating again, Thomas said desperately to Luna. In just one day, she went back to how she was before. "It's because of the stress," Luna explained. "No, it's because you're leaving. She can feel it." Thomas kneeled in front of Luna. "Please don't go. Sophia needs you. I need you more than I can say." Luna looked at Sophia, fragile and sad on the couch. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll stay." The next day, while Sophia played in the garden, Thomas decided it was time to tell the whole truth. "Luna, I need to tell you something very important," he said seriously. "About Sophia's past, about her mother." Luna turned to him, finally ready to hear the truth. "Sophia's mother didn't die giving birth. Actually, Daddy, Aunt Lou." Sophia ran into the room crying. "I had a terrible nightmare, even though I'm awake." Thomas stopped in the middle of his confession. Sophia ran into his arms, trembling with fear. "What is it, princess?" "I dreamed a bad woman wanted to take me away from you." After calming Sophia and putting her to bed, Luna and Thomas sat in the living room with new determination. "I can't run from these problems anymore," Luna said. "I'll stay, and we'll fix this together." "Are you sure?" "I am. Sophia needs stability, and I won't let Richard and Patricia destroy everything we've built." Thomas moved closer on the couch. "Thank you for staying. I don't know what I'd do without you." "First, we need to clear our names," Luna said firmly. "Do you really believe someone is sabotaging my work?" "I believe it completely. I know your skills. Those mistakes weren't accidents." Luna grabbed her laptop. "Then let's prove it. I need to show the evidence I've collected." She opened files she had secretly saved, original versions of reports before they were changed, comparisons between documents, suspicious timestamps on file edits. "Look at this," Luna said, pointing at the screen. "I finished this report on Friday at 5 p.m., but the system shows it was modified Saturday at 2 a.m. Thomas studied the data. "Who has access to the files on weekends?" "Only senior staff with office keys. Richard, Patricia, you, and me." "Richard always shows up at the office at strange times," Thomas remembered. "He says he likes working when it's quiet." They spent the whole night going through files, looking for patterns in the changes. Luna made strong coffee to keep them awake. "Here's another one," Thomas said, pointing out discrepancies. "All the changes happen after 6 p.m. or on weekends." "And always on the documents I prepared," Luna added. "Never on other employees' reports." Working side by side, sharing discoveries and theories, Luna and Thomas felt closer than ever. The challenge was bringing them together deeply. "Luna," Thomas said during a break, "even if we get through this, I want you to know, I don't regret standing up for you. You risked your career for me. I'd risk much more than that." Their eyes met in a meaningful moment before they went back to work. The next day, they kept digging. Thomas used his temporary authority to check the building's security logs. "Look at this," he said, showing records on the screen. "Richard entered the building Saturday at 1:47 a.m. Exactly 45 minutes before the system changes," Luna calculated. "And Patricia was here Sunday morning when no one else works." They were building a strong case but needed more proof. "I need to get into Richard's computer," Luna said. "That's risky. If he finds out, it's our only chance to prove everything." That afternoon, while Richard was in an outside meeting, Luna and Thomas quietly went into his office. Luna plugged a flash drive into his computer. "I'm copying all the modified files," Luna whispered. "If we get the original versions he saved." "Someone's coming," Thomas warned, looking down the hallway. Luna finished the transfer quickly, and they left the office. That night, while going through the copied files, they made a shocking discovery. "My God," Thomas murmured. "Look at these email conversations." Messages appeared on the screen between Richard, Patricia, and someone identified only as JM. "The plan is working." Blackwood Industries will go bankrupt in 2 weeks. Perfect. When the company breaks, I'll buy it for a bargain, and we'll keep our jobs in the new management. Luna read with growing horror. They weren't just trying to hurt me, they wanted to destroy the whole company. And look who JM is, Thomas said, pointing to a more detailed email. James Morrison, Luna read. I don't know that name. I do. He's my biggest competitor. He's been trying to buy my company for years. The pieces of the puzzle came together. Richard and Patricia weren't acting out of personal jealousy. They were hired to sabotage the company from inside, causing its bankruptcy so Morrison could buy it cheaply. They used my situation as the perfect scapegoat, Luna realized. An employee without a degree would be blamed for all the problems. But thanks to your suspicions, we found the truth, Thomas said, impressed. Working together late into the night, they organized all the evidence, damaging emails, access logs, document comparisons, modification histories. We have enough proof to take them down, Luna said, satisfied. And to save our company, Thomas added. During those intense nights of investigation, Luna and Thomas shared more than work. They shared fears, hopes, and dreams. They talked about their childhoods, ambitions, and regrets. I've never worked so well with anyone, Thomas admitted. It's like we think alike. We make a good team, Luna agreed. In everything, Thomas said with feeling. Work, family, life. Luna felt her heart race. Despite all the problems, she knew she was falling completely for Thomas. Thomas, I know, he gently interrupted. I feel the same way. They were about to kiss when they heard Sophia calling for water. The moment broke, but both knew something important had changed between them. The next day, with all the evidence organized, they were ready to confront Richard and Patricia. But first, they needed to present everything to the board of directors. I'm nervous, Luna admitted. No need to be. We have the truth on our side. But what if they don't believe us? Thomas held her hand. They will believe. And even if they don't, we'll face it together. Luna smiled, feeling for the first time in weeks that things might actually work out. They had the proof, each other, and the determination to fight for the truth. On Monday morning, Luna and Thomas entered the conference room with a folder full of evidence. The board was already there, including Hamilton and the investors who had threatened to pull out. Gentlemen, Thomas began with renewed confidence, we called this meeting to present the truth about the company's recent problems. Hamilton frowned. Thomas, you're still suspended. What we have to show will change everything. Luna interrupted, connecting her laptop to the projector. The first evidence appeared on the screen, emails between Richard, Patricia, and James Morrison. As you can see, Luna explained, there was a systematic plan to sabotage our company. Mr. Wilson leaned forward, reading carefully. James Morrison, isn't he your biggest competitor, Thomas? Exactly. He hired our own employees to destroy us from the inside. Luna went through all the evidence carefully. Access logs, file changes, sabotage history, the full plan to cause bankruptcy. My God, Hamilton whispered. Richard and Patricia were trying to break the company. And using Luna as a scapegoat, Thomas added. All the mistakes were planted on purpose. When they finished the presentation, the room was completely silent. Hamilton stood up. We need to confront Richard and Patricia right away. 20 minutes later, Richard and Patricia were called into the room. Seeing the evidence projected on the wall, both turned pale. Can you explain these emails? Hamilton asked coldly. Richard tried to deny it. This must be fake. The records are real, Wilson said. We have tech experts who confirmed it. Patricia started to cry. We needed the money. Morrison offered so much. You tried to destroy an entire company, Hamilton exploded. You betrayed co-workers, hurt investors, nearly caused hundreds of layoffs. You're fired for cause, Thomas declared, and you will face criminal charges. Richard and Patricia were escorted out by security. Hamilton turned to Luna and Thomas. We offer our formal apologies, especially to Miss Morgan, who was wrongly accused. Thank you, Luna said with dignity. Mr. Wilson stepped forward. Miss Morgan, your skills are exceptional. We want to fund your return to university so you can finish your degree. Luna's eyes widened. Really? Absolutely. You deserve official qualifications that match your talent. And we want you to stay with the company, Hamilton added. Thomas, you're reinstated as CEO immediately. After the meeting, Luna and Thomas walked to the parking lot in silence. taking in everything that had happened. "We did it," Luna said at last. "We did," Thomas corrected, stopping and turning to her. Without warning, he kissed her deeply right there in the parking lot. Luna kissed him back, feeling butterflies in her stomach. "I love you," Thomas whispered against her lips. "I love you too," Luna finally admitted what she had felt for weeks. That night, after Sophia was asleep, Luna and Thomas sat in the garden under the stars. "I can't believe everything is resolved," Luna said, resting her head on his shoulder. "You were amazing today. I've never seen anyone so brave." Thomas kissed her again, this time more passionately. Luna's heart raced as he held her tighter. "Luna," Thomas whispered, "I want you to know you are the most extraordinary woman I've ever met." "Thomas?" "No, let me finish. You changed my life completely, saved my company, cared for my daughter like she was your own, and made me believe in love again." They spent the night talking, kissing, and planning the future. For the first time, Thomas openly shared his feelings, fears, and dreams for the three of them as a family. In the weeks that followed, their romance blossomed. Thomas brought Luna flowers at work, they had romantic dinners after Sophia was asleep, and spent entire weekends together as the perfect family. "Aunt Lou," Sophia said one morning over breakfast, "can I call you my heart mom?" Luna felt tears in her eyes. "Of course you can, princess." "Mom of the heart," Sophia repeated with a smile. "Because you take care of my heart, just like a real mom." Thomas watched their interaction with deep emotion. Seeing Luna and Sophia together made him dream of marriage, more children, a complete and lasting family. Secretly, Thomas started planning a marriage proposal. He picked out a stunning diamond ring, planned a romantic proposal, and imagined Sophia as the flower girl at their wedding. But the more he planned the future, the heavier the guilt about the past weighed on him. "How can I marry Luna while keeping such a big lie?" he thought alone in his office. "She deserves to know the truth about Carla." The secret about Sophia's mother was becoming harder to carry. Thomas knew he needed to tell Luna about the abandonment, about how Carla left them for another man, about all the lies he had told to protect Sophia. "But what if Luna leaves me when she finds out I was abandoned?" he tortured himself. "What if she thinks I'm weak because I was rejected?" One night, while Sophia played in the living room after dinner, Thomas finally found the courage. "Luna, I need to tell you something very important about Sophia's past." Luna stopped washing the dishes and turned to him. "What is it?" "About her mother, about what really happened." Thomas took a deep breath, ready to confess everything. "The truth is, she didn't die in childbirth. Actually, Carla." The doorbell rang loudly, interrupting him. "Who could that be at this hour?" Luna asked, looking at the clock. It was almost 9 at night. Thomas turned pale. Something about the doorbell's insistence gave him a terrible feeling. "Daddy, someone's at the door," Sophia shouted from the living room. "I'll get it," Thomas said, his voice tense. Luna followed him to the front door. Thomas looked through the peephole, and his face went white as a sheet. "Thomas, what is it? Who is it?" He slowly unlocked the door, as if opening the gate to hell. On the other side stood a stunning blonde woman, dressed in expensive clothes and shining jewelry. She smiled coldly as the door opened. "Hello, Thomas," the woman said in a cold voice. "I missed you." Luna looked confused, glancing between Thomas and the stranger. "Thomas, who is this woman?" The blonde woman looked at Luna with clear contempt. "I'm Carla Blackwood, his wife." Luna felt her world collapse. "Wife? But you said she was dead." Thomas closed his eyes in total despair. His worst nightmare had come true. Carla had come back. "Thomas, what is happening?" Luna shouted in absolute shock. "Who is this woman?" Thomas looked like he had seen a ghost. His hands trembled as he held the door. "Luna, I can explain." "Explain what?" Luna looked between him and the blonde woman. "You said your wife was dead." Carla laughed coldly. "Dead?" Thomas always had a wild imagination. "Thomas, answer me now," Luna demanded. "Who is she?" Thomas closed his eyes in despair. "Luna, this is Carla, my ex-wife." "Ex-wife? You said she died giving birth." "I lied," Thomas admitted in a broken voice. Luna felt like she had been punched in the stomach. "You lied about everything?" Carla walked into the house without being invited, looking around at the luxury with calculating eyes. "I see you did very well, Thomas. The house is even more beautiful." "What do you want here, Carla?" Thomas asked, his voice tense. "I came for what's rightfully mine." "Daddy, Who is this lady? Sophia appeared in the room holding her teddy bear. Carla looked at Sophia with a mix of interest and coldness. My, how you've grown. Sophia instinctively hid behind Luna. Aunt Lou, who is she? Carla approached Sophia. I'm your mother, dear. No, you're not, Sophia shouted. My mom is Aunt Lou, go away. Sophia, calm down, Thomas said, picking her up. Luna was in total shock. Thomas, explain to me right now what's going on. Thomas took a deep breath, knowing he couldn't run from the truth anymore. Carla didn't die giving birth. She abandoned us when Sophia was 2. Abandoned how? She ran away with another man, Thomas said, pain in his voice. Left Sophia and never looked back. Carla laughed without humor. What a dramatic story, Thomas. I just chose to live my life. Luna looked at Carla, horrified. You abandoned your own daughter? I was too young to be a mother. I wanted freedom, adventure, to see the world. With my money, Thomas added bitterly. And why are you back now? Luna asked. Carla smiled coldly. Because I found out Thomas is very rich now, much richer than when I left. The truth hit Luna like a lightning bolt. You came back for the money? I came to claim my share of the inheritance, and to get my daughter back, of course. You're not my mother, Sophia shouted, crying. My mother is Aunt Lou. She really loves me. Carla looked at Sophia with indifference. You'll get used to me again. Luna felt anger explode inside her. How can you be so cold to your own daughter? And you, who are you again? Carla asked, looking at Luna with disdain. The new babysitter? I am. Luna hesitated, realizing she didn't know how to define herself in that moment. Luna is important to us, Thomas said. Oh, I see, Carla smiled cruelly. The new girlfriend. How romantic. Thomas found a replacement for me. You betrayed me and abandoned me, Thomas exploded. You have no right to come here and pretend to be upset. I have every right. I'm still legally your wife. Luna felt the world collapse again. You're still married? We never officially divorced, Thomas admitted. You lied to me about everything. Luna shouted. How can I trust a single word that comes out of your mouth? Luna, please let me explain. Explain what? That you're married? That your wife didn't die? That you made a fool out of me for months? Carla watched the argument with satisfaction. Looks like I caused some trouble in paradise. Luna grabbed her purse. I can't stay here anymore. Don't go, Thomas begged. I need you. You needed to be honest with me. Sophia started crying desperately. Aunt Lou, don't leave me alone with her. Luna's heart broke seeing Sophia in panic, but she was too hurt to think clearly. I need time to process all of this, Luna said as she left the house. In the following days, Carla settled into the mansion as if she never left. She hired expensive lawyers and started a fierce legal battle. I want full custody of Sophia and half of all the assets, she told her lawyers. Thomas tried to fight back. She abandoned Sophia. She has no rights. I'm the biological mother. That counts a lot in court. Meanwhile, Luna stayed at a cheap hotel, trying to process everything that had happened. She felt completely betrayed by Thomas's lies. 3 days after Carla's arrival, Luna started feeling morning sickness. At first, she thought it was stress, but when the symptoms continued, she decided to take a pregnancy test. The result shocked her completely. Positive. Luna was pregnant with Thomas's child. Sitting in the small hotel bathroom, looking at the test in her hands, Luna began to cry. How could she raise a child alone? How would she explain that the father was a married man who lied about everything? But at the same time, part of her filled with joy. She had always dreamed of being a mother, and now she was carrying the child of the man she loved despite all the complications. What am I going to do now, she thought, placing her hands on her still flat belly. Meanwhile, at the Blackwood mansion, Sophia completely refused any contact with Carla. The girl cried constantly, asking for Aunt Lou, and wouldn't eat anything Carla offered. Where is Aunt Lou? Sophia asked every day. Forget that woman, Carla said coldly. I am your mother now. You're not my mother. My mother loves me. Thomas watched his daughter suffering with a broken heart. He had lost Luna because of his lies, and now he saw Sophia being tormented by the woman who abandoned her years ago. The following week, Carla's lawyers filed an official petition requesting custody of Sophia and division of assets. The legal battle had officially begun, and Luna, pregnant and alone, had to decide whether to tell Thomas about the baby or raise her child away from all the chaos. A week after discovering the pregnancy, Luna went for more detailed tests. Sitting nervously alone in the clinic's waiting room, she tried to imagine raising a baby without the father around. "Luna Morgan?" the nurse called. After a detailed ultrasound, the doctor called her into his office with an expression mixing surprise and joy. "Miss Morgan, I have news that may be shocking." Dr. Martinez said. "Is the baby okay?" Luna asked, worried. "The babies are perfect." "Babies?" Luna's eyes widened. "What do you mean, babies? You're pregnant with triplets, 3 healthy babies." Luna felt the world spin. 1 baby would be hard enough, but 3? How could she raise 3 children alone? "Triplets," she repeated in shock. "Are you sure?" "Absolutely. Congratulations. It's rare, but all seem to be developing perfectly." Luna left the clinic completely stunned. Triplets. How would she tell Thomas? Should she even tell him? Meanwhile, the court battle intensified. Carla had hired the best lawyers in town. "My client is the biological mother," Carla's lawyer argued in court. "She has legal rights to custody of her daughter. She abandoned the child for 3 years. Thomas's lawyer replied, "That counts as child abandonment." The judge listened carefully to both sides. "The court will consider all factors, including the child's well-being." Carla looked confident, wearing expensive clothes and shiny jewelry to impress the court. "Your Honor, I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to be the mother Sophia deserves." But Thomas had hired a private detective to look into Carla's past. What he found was shocking. "Mr. Blackwood," the detective said, handing over a long report, "Carla has a very dark history." "What do you mean?" "She had 2 previous relationships where she abandoned children, a 4-year-old in California and a 6-year-old in Texas, both left only with their fathers." Thomas was horrified. "She did that before?" "There's more. She committed financial scams on at least 3 wealthy men, always using charm and promises of love. There are arrest warrants in 2 states. My God. She didn't come back for Sophia out of love. She came because she found out your company is now worth $50 million. At the next hearing, Thomas's lawyer presented all the evidence: criminal records, abandonment history, proven financial fraud. "Your Honor," the lawyer said, "the petitioner shows a clear pattern of abandoning her children." The judge reviewed the documents with a stern look. "Miss Blackwood, can you explain these records?" Carla tried to lie, but the evidence was undeniable. Her dark past was exposed for everyone to see. The most moving moment was when Sophia, only 5 years old, was called to testify. "Sophia, can you tell me who takes care of you?" the judge asked gently. "My daddy and my mommy Luna," Sophia answered clearly. "And this lady?" the judge pointed to Carla. "She's not my mother. She left when I was little and left me all alone." Sophia began to cry. "I want to stay with my daddy and my mommy Luna. She really loves me." Sophia's brave testimony moved the whole courtroom. The judge's decision was final. Carla Blackwood loses all parental rights over Sophia due to proven abandonment and a criminal record. She must also pay $100,000 in damages for the emotional harm caused to the child. Carla left the court furious but defeated. Her plans to take advantage of Thomas's wealth had completely failed. That night, Thomas went to see Luna at the hotel. He found her sitting on the bed, staring out the window. "Luna, please listen to me," he begged, kneeling on the floor. "Thomas, I know I lied to you about everything. I know I broke your trust." Thomas had tears in his eyes. "I lied because I thought if you knew I was abandoned, you'd leave me too. I couldn't bear to lose you." Luna looked at him, seeing real sincerity and desperation. "I lied out of fear, not cruelty. Carla destroyed me when she left, and I was terrified of going through that again." "Thomas, I'm pregnant," Luna said suddenly. He stopped talking, taking in the news. "Pregnant? With triplets?" Thomas was silent for a long moment, then a big smile spread across his face. "Triplets? Our children?" "Yes." Thomas stood up and hugged her tightly. "Luna, this is wonderful. We're going to have a big, happy family." "Aren't you upset I didn't tell you sooner?" "I'm too happy to be upset." A week later, Thomas planned the most romantic proposal possible. In the mansion garden, with rose petals and lit candles, he knelt down with a dazzling diamond ring. "Luna Morgan, you changed my life and brought happiness to my family. Will you marry me?" "Yes," Luna cried with joy. Sophia ran in. "Now Aunt Lou is really going to be my mommy." The wedding was a small, emotional ceremony, with Sophia shining as the flower girl. Luna looked beautiful in her white dress, her baby bump already showing. The next months were pure happiness. Luna went back to college to finish her degree, supported by company investors. Thomas cared for her during the difficult pregnancy with triplets. The babies were born healthy, 2 boys and a girl. Sophia became the most loving big sister, helping Luna care for the little ones. "Now we're a big family," Sophia said happily. Luna graduated with honors in accounting, returned to her job, and became one of the most respected executives in town. One night, Luna was in the kitchen making dinner for her big family. Thomas came home from work and hugged her from behind, kissing her neck. Sophia played with the 3 babies in the living room, all laughing and having fun. "Thank you," Luna whispered to Thomas. "For what?" "For teaching me that true love can overcome any obstacle." They kissed as the delicious smell of dinner filled the house. Through the window, the golden sunset lit up the happiest family in the world. What did you think of Luna and Thomas's story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Rate this story from 0 to 10. What score would you give? Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to follow all our stories. And don't forget to watch more moving stories by clicking here on the end screen.